Imaginary Friends invites us to think about connection, not just with others, but with the parts of ourselves we've lost or hidden. The show brings together two sides of Sebastián's practice: playful, cartoon character-filled paintings and looser, abstract works that feel like those characters have melted into dreamlike color and line. Sebastián is both a painter and filmmaker, but he says painting allows him to embrace uncertainty. According to the gallery, his works draw from the language of cartoons, breaking apart their outlines and colors until they become something raw and emotional. His lines twist and hum, and bits of primary color drift through the canvas, like fragments of a comic book left out in the rain. Influences come from animation, but also from his own childhood, where he spent hours drawing imaginary companions. Those early inventions return here in adult form, part funny, part strange, and often unsettling. The title, Imaginary Friends, refers not just to the figures in the paintings, but to the act of creating worlds to ease loneliness, to make sense of ourselves. The paintings seem to say that even the strangest or most childlike parts of our imagination deserve a place at the table. Fabian, an artist from Germany, creates paintings that feel like stepping into a different world, where rooms, objects, and memories all overlap. He paints memory as architecture, rooms built from feeling rather than fact. He starts his works from fragments of old Hollywood animation backgrounds. The empty spaces that once served as scenery behind the characters. The artist builds on those quiet backdrops, turning them into new environments. His paintings don't aim to show reality exactly as it is. Instead, they recreate how a place might linger in your mind after it's gone. Each scene looks like a stage set or a room that's shifting in time. There are windows framing landscapes, sinks and pipes crossing the picture, and curtains that seem to reveal and hide at the same time. The artist treats landscape and interior space as something portable, something we carry with us. Hold me close is a warm embrace in uncertain times. Known for her striking quilted portraits made entirely of fabric, the artist uses this series to explore empathy, love, and togetherness. As Bisa describes it, this body of work is her visual diary, a reflection of how she feels as an African American woman living through a moment of upheaval. She speaks about feeling destabilized by the cruelty and division she sees in the world, and turning to her art as a way to find solace. Each quilt in this series is a reminder of how much we need tenderness. Bisa was inspired by the classic Louis Armstrong song, La Vie en Rose. That line, "Hold me close and hold me fast," became both the title and the emotional center of this exhibition. The works capture people leaning on one another, resting together, or simply sharing quiet gestures of care. She often begins with archival photographs that move her, old family albums, images by photographers, and reimagines them through fabric. Though her portraits center Black identity, her message extends to everyone. That in a world filled with chaos and loss, we can still find connection and hold each other close. Annie, a Los Angeles-based artist, paints the landscapes she knows best, the hills, deserts, and sprawling city views of Southern California. But these aren't straightforward depictions of nature. The artist describes being drawn to California's light, the same warmth that attracts so many people here, but she also senses its fragility. The land feels both inviting and uncertain, solid and fleeting. Each piece begins with poured layers of paint that flow and spread across the canvas on their own. From those accidental shapes, she starts to find the beginnings of landscapes, hillsides, bits of sky, a desert horizon. She builds on those with imagery pulled from her own photographs, from art history, from the internet, weaving them all together until something familiar starts to emerge. The paintings move between realism and abstraction, where one moment you recognize the landscape, and the next it slips away into color and light. This show marks the 34th exhibition of Rebecca's career. She's known for her inventive approach to abstraction, paintings that feel spontaneous yet carefully constructed, experimental yet disciplined. This show feels like a study of how paintings think for themselves, how color, form, and chance can coexist in a kind of shifting equilibrium. The artist begins with her canvases, laid flat on the floor, pouring heavily diluted oil paint that moves and spreads almost like watercolor. She then tilts or shakes the surface, letting chance take over for a moment before returning to her own decision-making process, layering new shapes and colors, always adding but never erasing. Each section responds to what came before it, building tension between order and accident, control and freedom. Even the straightest of lines are drawn by hand, leaving a trace of imperfection that reminds us the work is human, alive in its making. The outer edges of her canvases, often shimmering or patterned, act as both frame and content, suggesting that what's typically seen as the margin can hold just as much meaning as the center. Rebecca doesn't tell us what to see. Instead, she gives us a set of visual possibilities. The result is an exhibition where harmony and disruption share the same space. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you again.